In today's lecture, I'll just tell you the flow of this course. As we know, that name of course is software engineering. So in this, that main thing is about the mini project, right? So we'll do that mini project also in coming time. And also, I just told you this scheme. But before just moving forward, I'll just tell you the probable list of lab assignments. Now, see, if you see this, the list. So first three assignments. So in this week, you just go with the first assignment. And also I have given the timeline here. If you see, the performance date and submission date is also given, right? So in this week, whatever is this week going, in this week, you just go with the first assignment. And all these three assignment, these are the study assignments. So there is no any kind of programming or something here. So only you need to study of the from the different resources. Only in the first assignment you need to create uh, one repository on the GitHub, and you can use that Git to access that one. So either you can use Git or the desktop GitHub is also there. So using that also you can access that remote repository, right? So in this week only you just study this one, and in this also you just create one folder uh, and upload that folder on the remote repository, and also upload some files so that you can understand what it is. And the second and third, this uh, this is again, these two are again study assignments, but these are about the operating systems, so different operating system. So we know that Windows, Linux operating systems are there. So similar to that Linux, we have this Debian operating system and GNU operating system. So you need to study this one, right? So go on this different the resources, study it, what it is. Uh, Again, study the steps to install this, and if possible, on your laptop or computer, you just install these the two operating system, right? And you can they see the features of these two operating system, Debian and GNU operating system. But you should know something about the Debian and GNU also, because for this course there is an end semester examination. So at that time, you need to know about these operating systems. Right? So my suggestion is on your laptop or computer, try to install these the operating systems. Right? And first is that simple that repository. So here you create that login and see, as this course name is the mini project software engineering one mini project. So for that mini project, we'll just create a group, and for that group we'll just follow the one repository only, so that on that repository only the that whole group will work, because already you peoples are not on the same the locations, you peoples are at different locations. So this is very necessary, this GitHub, right? And next one, whatever the fourth assignment that we'll see, actually this is the small mini project. No, sorry, this is the file handling project, or the simple assignment you can see, student information forms. So for that form, you can decide the fields, which fields you need to consider for that form, like name, roll number, PRN, something, something. So these the fields you can decide, but here you need to use file handling. So I'll just give you two options for the file handling. One is you can use that C file handling, and second is Python file handling. But I think you people have studied that Python in first year, right? So it's better to use that Python file handling. So using that file handling, you need to implement this assignment. And the fifth one, this is about shell script. Do you have any idea about shell script? Anyone? What it is, or the shell script programming or something? Yes. Please tell me so that I'll just go in detail. Otherwise, if you have studied already, then I'll just take simply the assignments. Okay, ठीक है. Anyway, so this is the fifth assignment. Here I just take the number of programs. This is written in a single lab assignment, but I am taking the multiple programs in this fifth assignment, right? And that sixth and seventh, these are the most important because sixth one is the kind of mini project. I have not given here the title mini project or something, but here you need to implement one mini project. It's a small project, and for that project, we are developing a tool in the seventh assignment. So here, suppose you just implemented one project. So to test that project, we are implementing one tool in this last one. So our main focus is on these four assignments because for whatever is this six mini projects, so for that this fourth assignment is the prerequisite, right? And again for the last one, we can use the shell script or you can use file handling and something. So to implement this, so that's why for these two, this fourth and fifth is a prerequisite, we can say, right? So this is the flow, right? So as I said, you just go with the first assignment in this way and try to follow these the dates. Okay. Now, okay. Any query in this the lab assignments or any ambiguity or something here? See, if you are having any kind of ambiguity, you just please tell me. Yeah? Okay. Then again, come to the original point. Now see, this already sent. Now, what we need to do here from your side. So these three, Git, GitHub, Debian, and GNU. So study these the three assignments, and in this tute and in the coming tutes, I'll just tell you something about the file handling in Python, shell script, and how to develop that testing tool. So about these, I'll focus mainly in this tute. Okay. So see for this week, as I said, you just go with this Git and GitHub. So I think the most of the peoples are having idea about this Git and GitHub, and also the few peoples might have that login there, right? But anyway, if the other peoples are not having that login, or if they are not having any idea about this Git and GitHub, so please just read the something about this, create that repository, and work on that, right? So this is what. So this is a version control system for the tracking changes in the computer file. Normally what happens whenever we just work individually on one laptop or on one computer, so only one person can work there, the other person cannot work there because this is a standalone system kind of, we can say. But if suppose we are having any the repository that is a remote repository kind of, and if suppose the multiple peoples are working on same project, so in that case, how these peoples will share that data, how these peoples will update that project, how these peoples will keep the track of changes, and again this some kind of history. So for that, so this is the solution, right? So here, as I said, the distribution version control. So here that the whatever is the work that is being distributed, right? So any member from that project team or project group can work on that project. So if suppose the different peoples are working on the different modules, so all these peoples will work the differently on these modules and just update these modules on the remote repository, right? So main benefit of this is what? Suppose I am working on this computer or the laptop, and if suppose the I have very limited internet speed, so what I can do in that case, so I can just clone my the whatever is the remote folder onto the local machine. I can work on that. So when I work on that the local machine, so internet is not necessary. When that internet is necessary, when you want to pull that data, right? So this is again the benefit of this. Then again, the coordinates work between the multiple developers. So whatever are the coordinates, so these will work between multiple developers. So multiple developers can work and the one person can again coordinate to these developers and also revert back at any time if suppose anything goes wrong. So we can revert back also. And as I said, there is a local and remote repositories. Right? So you can work on the local repository and you can update your whatever are the updates on the remote repository. Right? So to install this Git, actually, these are the two the operating system links. So if you want to suppose install this on the Linux, so this is the link. Actually, this is the command. So you can use this command to install this on the Linux. And suppose if you want to install this on the Windows operating system, so this is the link. From here, you can download that Git and you can install it. Right. So this is about the Git, the installation part. And when we just install this Git on your local machine and when you create your login on the GitHub, so we need to follow some commands. That is the one solution, or you can use the desktop, the GitHub also. So some people are very habitual with the commands, so they can use the commands. Or some people are not suppose interested in the commands. So in that case, you can use that desktop GitHub. So in desktop GitHub, not necessary to memorize any kind of commands. So already that the interface is there. So with that interface, you can the push and pull the files on the remote repository. Right? So these are the some basic commands. Right? So if you are using get the command prompt, so see for every the command, so get is the mandatory here. Only this is not the from this get, but this is to create a file. This touch, right? But here to initialize the local repository, so we can use this first command, that is get init. Or suppose if you want to add any file to the index, so you can use this the add command. Then to check the status, commit means suppose you have done some changes and you want to reflect these changes on the that local repository, so you can use this command. This push and pull, that these two commands are used to pull and push the data to and from the remote repository. And this is a cloning, means whatever the copy of the master file, so that you can clone and you can download it on the local machine, right? So this touch is to create a file, so you can use this in the Linux shell and somewhere also. So the touch command. And these two commands are to create user and the your email also. And here to add a file, so that get add you can use here, right? So these are basic, very basic commands. So the other commands are also there. You just study all these commands. And if you are stuck anywhere, you can ask me, uh, or you can post the messages on the group. I'll just reply to that one. But these are the only basic commands. You just study it and see for these three assignments, the get GitHub, then the rest two assignments. So for these three assignments, you need to prepare a document. So whatever you just studied, for that you need to prepare a document, and that document you need to submit in a given timeline. So that is the thing. So here, this is not the meaning only just study, you created that repository and something and this is finished. So you need to create a document. So document, you can decide how to prepare that one. This is kind of manual, right? Because whenever we just create or develop any project, so we need to create a documentation of that project also. So we need to know how to create the document also. So here for these three assignments, Debian, GNU, and this Git GitHub. For these three assignments, you just create the documentation and submit the documentation in time whenever uh, your turn is there. Right? Any doubt till this? If you want the demo, I think I have here of desktop. I'll check it whether I have. See, this is the GitHub desktop interface. If you don't know, so here you can fetch that data from the main repository, and we can update also. So one example, I think in yesterday's batch, I just told them. So check whether the directory here. This one, right? And see, this is by the remote repository. Here, the files are there. So what I'll do, I'll just create one more file here. Suppose these are the sample files. I'm not writing any data here. This is MNOP, right? That file name is MNOP. Now see, when I created any file into this, and when I just open this, so this is the new file created. So I can commit this one first, right? And if you see the remote repository, that file is not been reflected over here. So when this will be reflected, so when I push this one to the remote repository. Now, if you see here, when I refresh, you can see MNOP file, right? So in this way, we can update that file. And also here, if you want to download this, so you can use this option here, download zip. So you can download whatever the files are there. Okay. So this is the very simple one. Only here, you need to decide whether you are using GitHub, sorry, Git or desktop GitHub. So accordingly, but my suggestion is you just go with the Git, right? Because this is very simple interface. So any doubt till this? Okay. Now see, we'll just move for the next one. Actually, that is the important part of this is the file handling in Python, because your the programming or the lab assignment is the file handling, right? So I think you just studied that Python in first year. I don't know whether you have studied that file handling in that first year or not. Still, I'll just take kind of revision here. I'll not go in detail about this, but I'll just take the kind of revision so that you will understand what is the file handling in Python. And also you can implement our the next assignment, that is the fourth assignment uh, with this file handling, right? So see, why we use file handling, that is the most important thing. I think whatever the programs you have done till now, so that the structure for that program is like, suppose this is the your RAM, right? And when we just write any program here, suppose abc.c, right? So what we do in the normal programming, so whatever the data we have into that program, so that data has been stored temporarily into this RAM. Suppose the two variable values you have taken, like A is 10 and B is 20, right? So what happens when we just run this program? So these 10 and 20 values will be stored here, like A is 10 and B is 20, right? But when we exit our program, so whatever is the data into this RAM that get vanished. So this is not the permanent storage, because this RAM is a temporary memory, and when suppose you want to store that on the secondary storage like hard disk, so what I can do, right? So for that storage I need to use the file handling. Getting my point? Because the without file handling we cannot store any data onto the hard disk. This is the thing. And whenever you just go for the real time, the application or real time projects, so we need to store that data onto the hard disk. So whatever the functions we have seen in C programming or in Python programming, like the input, print, or printf, scanf, and something. So all these functions are used to store or handle the data with the RAM only, not with the hard disk. So if you want to the handle the data with the hard disk, so then you need to use this file handling concept. Getting my point? So this is simple one. So whatever is that value of A and B, so we can store in hard disk like 10 and B is 20 suppose. So here for sending the data from RAM to hard disk, and again to retrieve the data from hard disk to RAM, and from here to the output device like screen. So this is the scenario. So if you are using suppose the C programming, so here scanf function is used to store the data into this RAM, right? So this one, and if you are using again C programming, so to display something on the screen, so we use printf, right? So if you are using C programming, if you are using Python programming, then you need to use that the input and that print only, right? Here I'll just write put function, and here simply print function to display something on the screen. So whatever is this one, this part is simply temporary, right? So that data will not be stored permanently on the hard disk. But when you want to come to this point, this part, so this coming under the file handling. Ready? So that's why we just normally use the file handling. You can see that the file handling is there in Python, that file handling is there. And if you are going with the other programming languages, then in that case we use the database. Right? Because without storing that value into the database, we cannot retrieve that value at any time. If you are storing that value into the RAM, then that will be get vanished when suppose any problem comes, or if you terminate your programs or that system get crashed or something. So in that case, your data will not be retrievable. So that's why we need to use that file handling here. So I think you might understood the concept of this file handling, right? So why we need to use the file handling. Now see, in Python programming, that the main function, that is a key function, is the open, because here whatever file we have on the hard disk, or suppose you want to create any file, so for that we need to use that open function. So this open function is having the two parameters. So first parameter is the file name, and second one is the modes. So the different modes are there. I just given here the basic modes. With these basic modes, we can the memorize the other modes also. Right? So actually, there are two types of the files. One is the text file, and second one is the binary file. You can see here, I have written here in the bottom of this screen. The T means text file and B means the binary file. So main are the two files, and to access these two files, we need these modes. So this R means what? So this is a read mode. So what this mode will do, that opens a file for reading, means for this the mode that file should be there on your hard disk, right? Then and then it will open. Otherwise, it will provide the error. So opens a file for reading, or if that file is not there, then it will provide the error. Error if file doesn't exist, right? So this is the case. Now, second is what? To write. Suppose you want to write something into the file, then we can use this W mode. So what this W mode will do? So it will open a file for writing purpose and create a file if suppose it is not exist there. If already file is there, then it will add that content to that file. But if suppose file is not there, so it will create new file and then it will add the content. But main thing is what? If you are using simply this W, so every time this will start to write the data at first index. So if suppose some data is already there into the file, so that data will be overwritten with the new data if you are using the W mode. Now next one is the append. Now see, the difference between this W and append is in W, as I said, if suppose that one file is there and you are writing something into the that file with this mode W, so whatever is the previous data that will be overwritten with the new data. But if you are using A, that is append mode, in that case, that existing file will keep as it is, and that new data will be added at the end of that file. So what will happen with this? So whatever is the original data, that data will be as it is, and we can add the new data also. So this is the meaning of this append. So open a file to append and create a file if it doesn't exist, right? So these are the three important modes. And see, as I said, that T means text file and B is a binary file. If you are simply using this R, W, and A, it means these will consider by default the text files. And suppose you want to use that binary file. So in that case, after this, you need to write RB, WB, AB. So RB means that opening a binary file for the reading purpose. WB means opening a binary file for writing purpose. And AB means that opening a binary file for appending purpose, right? So these are the three basic modes. Now we'll see the simple the operations. The first operation, that is the most important operation. So I just given the steps also here. First step is create a file manually on a computer hard disk. To understand this, actually we can create file using the function also, that is the write function. But here, as we're just taking the first operation, that is a reading a file. So our first step should be create a file on the computer, then open a file in read mode, because I need to read that file only, not to update or something. And then using the read functions, we can read already created file. So whatever file we have created, that file we can read using the read function. And finally, you need to close that file. So this one. So this one simple example is also I have given here. This one, right? So we'll just try this example so that you will understand of what I'll do here. See, suppose this is a file. I'll create one simple file, that is, suppose abc. This is a text file, right? And I'll add some data. Right? So suppose this is the simple file I have created here, saved. Suppose I will just close this one, right? Now what we are doing here, using this first line, we are just opening that file for reading purpose, because this is the R is what, read mode, and then we can, whatever the file is, that we can read using this function. So I'll just open that editor. So see, the simple steps are, first open that file. That file we have created, that is abc.txt here, and we need to read that file only, right? Then f dot, but I need to print this, right? So using these functions we can print the data, and f dot close, right? So I'll save this, save it first, and then I'll just run this file. So you can see here, whatever is the data into that file, this data is been displayed here. You can see here, right? So this is very simple, how to read that file. Now see, this is simply reading that entire file, right? Now you can see the one more function is there, that is the read line function. So suppose sometimes we need to read the particular line, or line, first line, second line, third line, or the few lines you need to read. In that case, we can use this one. I'll just add some data over here again. Save it, just close it, right? And you can see there is a read line function. So this function is used to read a line, right? So we have this, just close this, right? So you can see here this function is print f read line. So instead of simply read, so using that read, we have displayed that complete file, right? Now I'll save it and I'll just run this. So you can see only first line has been displayed here. So first line is displayed only. If you want again the second line, so you can copy this one and we can paste here and you can run this. So you can see here two lines, or again third line, this one you can see here, right? So if you want to read a single line, so you can use this one. Again, sometimes this is very tedious, because for every line we need to type the print read line function. What we can do here, so this already I just told you. Now we can use a for loop for that also. See, using for loop you can the print the entire the file or entire lines also. So what we can do here, see, I'll just delete this part one. So you can use one for loop, and you might know we need to keep here colon, so that that loop will start, and print that x, right? With this save, and if you run this one, you can see this entire file is been displayed. So with this also read line function, you can display the first line, second line, something, or using that also you can print the entire line, or simply if you are using the read functions, with that also you can print the entire file, right? So this was about the read line. Now we'll see how to write the contents to the file, right? So here for writing we have the two modes, the main mode, that is W, and that is second is A. W means what? So this will write at the first index. So if any content is there, so it will overwritten by the new content. But if you are using the append mode, so in that case that will be appended at the end. So this is only difference, and these two modes we can use for this one, right? So here that same thing, there we have used that read function. Now here we need to use that write function, and whatever is the file that you need to open into the W mode, right? So I'll tell you the difference. We'll see these two again. Already we have a file. Already I just told you this is a file. So if suppose I am using that write function, then in that case whatever are the new content, these will be overwritten with this fold. So I'll first use the append mode, then we'll just go with the write mode, right? See, sorry, let's close this. Now here I need to open that same file in write mode. If file is already there, then this will be opened for the write mode. If file is not there, then it will create that file. Now what I want to do is I just want to write. So f dot write, and suppose here I am writing something. Write function, right? This one. You can see that same thing is written here, and close that file, save it, and run it. So see, at this command prompt, nothing is there because we have created that file on the hard disk. So we need to open that file, and you can see here, sorry, I have used that write mode. That's why it has been overwritten with the new one, because I think we have used write mode. Yeah. Right. Anyway, now we'll just use the append mode. Yeah. So simply change this with A. Sorry. A is append, and right, this will be added at the end. When I run it, I'll just close this, otherwise it will not be refreshed. You can see here. So these statement is the previous statement, and whatever the next one, that is the appended function, right? So I'm performing a append function. So these are the simple, the two functions. Okay. So see, these are for the text files. If suppose you want to use any binary file, then what we can do, that again I just tell you. So see, binary file means what? If you are having any image, so that image will be stored in the binary. So to handle that image, how do I handle this one? So that I'll see, right? So suppose, see, in this folder, if you see, I have one image here, this one, right? and this image stored in binary or hex code format. So what I can do here, first open that, see that file name is what? That file name is image. This is a JPG image. You can see here. This is a JPG image. Okay. So that name of this file is image. So open this image and that extension is what? JPG. Now this is read because we need to read it. And what I can do here, so whatever are the values in that, like f print these values, right? Binary values, or that these are the actual hex values. And I'll save it and will run it. So what will happen with this? You can see, because this will not run, this will provide an error, but still we'll see what will happen with this. You can see this is an error. That error is what? Because our file is in the JPG format, it means that is a binary file, and whatever the mode we have used, this is a text mode. You can see here, this is a text mode, right? So that's why this is providing error. If you want to use that binary mode, so then you can write here the RB. Then might be this will work. Just save it, run it. You can see this is a file. So whatever is that image, this image is having these exa values, right? But see, whatever these values, so I don't understand what these values are, and I am also not understanding which image is this one. So how do I understand this one? So what I can do, I can just store or write this file to the another file, and again I can see that one. So here, what I'll do, suppose this is one file. Again, I'll create a new file. Suppose F1, because that file is not there. So I'm just creating also, and I'll just give the another name to that, new image dot jpg. Okay, so this new file will be created, and I just want to write this. See, so now what I did, this image is the original image, and this is the new file just I am creating. And into this new one, I just copy that first image so that I can see whether that or the original image is copied perfectly or not. Okay. Then here, this is F because this is the original file, right? This one, and I need to write here F1. This is the new one, and all these values I'll just write it, and I'll save it, and I'll run it. You see, this is running perfectly. And if you see here, this new image file has been created, and we'll see this one. Yeah, this is perfect. So whatever is the new file, this new file is what? Copy of this one. So in this way, we can handle the binary files also and binary modes also, right? So I think the today's session, this would be enough. Okay, right? So this is related to text file, and whatever I have taken right now, the examples are these are related to the binary file. So I think you might understood how to read the file and how to write to the file, right? So this is the main concept, and whatever is our lab assignment, that lab assignment is what? Here, this fourth one, huh? Create a student information form, store that student information in a file, and also display that information from that file. It means whatever the examples we have seen here, these are very basic examples. You can see here, this reading and all. These are the simple examples. But now what we want to do here, we need to accept the whole information from the user, student information from the user, and we need to write that whole information into the file. And after writing, we need to retrieve that information from that file and we need to display it on the terminal. Right? So that is your lab assignment. I think you might understood. If you have not understood this fourth assignment, you can tell me again. I just explain this one, right? But I think you might understood how to write and how to read that file. Also binary file, because in that student information, sometimes you need to uh, take that photos and something else, right? So that's why you need that binary mode into that case. Okay. So I think today is enough for this. In this week, whatever the batches are coming today and the incoming days in this week, so complete this assignment, read it. Only this assignment is having some kind of hands-on. So complete this documentation, prepare the documentation and submit your documentation till 16 to 21, right? So that submission date already I have given here. So for T1 and T2 batches, so that submission would be there on Kalpol. And for the rest batches, that submission that I think that ma'am is taking on the Moodle, right? So you just submit your the document there, and T1, T2 submit your document on the Kalpol. Okay. And one more thing. So any query related to the Kalpol, anyone is there who has not the able to log in or something? If you are having any kind of doubt related to that, please tell me. Yeah? Okay. So I'll stop the sharing first. Stop the recording also.